As I look around your office here at the University of Texas, I've got to figure and just kind of assume this is a little different than it was in your first stop at Appalachian State. Talk a little bit, Mack, if you don't mind, about how your coaching has evolved, and particularly your leadership style from when you first started to where you are right now.
Mack, I think when any of us first start out in a new business, you're trying to figure out, number one, who you are. And when you can figure that out, which is a huge step in all of our lives, and what happiness is and what success is, then you can better develop a philosophy that you feel like fits what you want the other kids to be like, and what you want them, the experience you want them to get when they leave. So we probably at Appalachian, we're just guessing. I ought to go back and apologize to all those coaches and all those players that I was around and say I didn't have a clue. So I didn't know at that time I didn't have a clue. I know now I didn't have a clue. So, but what we've done is you understand number one, the responsibilities that you have being a head football coach, because not only of all the young people that watch you as a role model, but your staff, family members, and then you leave Appalachian to come to a place like the University of Texas. And Coach Royal said again early in the interview process, I said, what do you have to do to be successful as a head football coach at Texas? He said, well, number one, you better like the state. And if you don't like it, you better act like you like it, because they like it. So I said, that's fair, I can do that. He said, number two, never walk by a young person that wants a picture, or an elderly person, or wants an autograph without stopping and doing it, and not being annoyed by it, because that's your job. Some people in this state want that position to stop and speak and take pictures and sign, and it's not about you. It's about the position, and the next guy after you will be doing the same thing. So don't ever think it's you. Understand it's the University of Texas and the football coach there. And then, of course, he said, reach out to the high school coaches, which is very important in our state, to make sure they understand that you care about the kids and you care about the sport. And then he said, lastly, and he didn't have any priority list here, he said, and then you got to win all the games, which I understood that too. But I really feel now that with the visibility of this job, and now the internet, gosh, we've got TV stations all over the state, radio stations all over the state, that it's really, really important that the head coach is happy at Texas, and it's important that you do what you know to be right every day. And it's important because whether you like it or not, you are a role model to so many. And what we've decided to do, we want to bring in really nice young kids who have values in their family, that are doing really well in school and have earned the right to be at Texas. And then we want them to graduate. We want them to have a good experience and learn more about life and who they are when they get out. And then we'd like to win all the games. And that's kind of who we are with our package.
From the way outside looking in, it appears that you've mentioned a couple of times knowing yourself and finding out who you are through the process of whether you're coaching or doing whatever you do. It appears that you've gotten more comfortable in your own skin over the last even 4 or 5 years. Talk a little bit about that process.
Oh, it's true, Mack. Again, if you're not careful, there's a fine line in my estimation between passion and obsession. And early in my coaching career, I was obsessed to win all the games. And I'm not sure that I always knew I wanted the kids to be happy and I wanted them to do well, but I'm not sure that the end wasn't more important at some time than the day-to-day process of the kids. And about 4 or 5 years ago, I really sat down and said, you know, I've worked my whole life to get to Texas and a place like this, and I'm here and I'm not happy, and I can't figure out why. And I really just, through a lot of time and patience and faith and friends, and I figured out that it was because I was looking at the end. I was only looking at winning all the games and still trying to do everything right. And our coaches happy and reach out. But I felt the pressure of this whole state and this university nationally that I had come in as a head coach to put a process together to win the national championship. And we were so close, but when you're miserable at 11-2 and you're miserable at 10-3, there's something missing. because our kids were doing well, they were graduating, everything was in place, and I still wasn't happy. So I made a conscious decision 4 or 5 years ago that I'm going to be happier and I'm going to enjoy this. And Mike Godfrey, an ESPN analyst, told me one time, you work so hard at the bad jobs when you're young that you're so tired when you get a good one you can't enjoy it. And I thought about that some, but I really think more than anything else that I was worried more about doing what I had said to the people here instead of doing what I felt to be the right thing to do, and that's make sure that every day we did everything we knew to be right to help kids grow in their lives and grow in their faith and try to prepare themselves for life after football. And when we started doing that and having more fun and laughing more, we won all the games, which is really interesting.
It's almost like it kind of started to fit together.
Well, it did. It was like when I thought I had my priorities right, but when I consciously changed them to tweak them a little bit, maybe, because I didn't think we were doing bad things, but to tweak them a little bit, that everything fell into place. Right.